Holy crap, you guys. We got so much to talk about right now. So, if you don't know, recently, No Coaster Con just happened, and Six Flags Great America was there and dropped a bunch of things coming up for the 50th anniversary. And that's what we're here to do. I'm here to went over what's going on, my thoughts, and then afterwards, we're going to be talking about some predictions and hopes that I have for the 50th. So, let's get started. Oh, also quickly, if you can, please subscribe. I'm 2 subscribers away from 300, and that's really it. I got nothing else. Okay, let's actually get started. So a while back, there were permits that were filed to redo the queue of Raging Bull. I had no idea what was going to be going on with this or what was this all about, but it seems like this presentation did confirm that. As you can see here, the stairs for Raging Bull have been removed. And what I assume they're going to do is have the merge point be at the top of the stairs for fast lane and the standby. I've also seen blueprints of this on a Reddit post confirming this, which is great because the stairs, how they were before, with the flash pass line merging at the bottom, just sucked. And having the merge point at the top also means we're going to have a grouper, which will make everything far more organized than it was beforehand. Next up is going to be Raph. First off, Raph is finally going to get on-ride photo. I have no idea why they didn't do it last year, but they already had the camera pole set up ready, right at the bottom of the drop for the camera. So that's great that they're doing that. And they're going to add lockers, which is interesting because I thought they already had lockers already placed in, but I guess they were not set up. There's also going to be more stuff, so I'm assuming that the audio that everybody kept talking about that was supposed to happen with Raph is finally going to be added, which is really appreciated. That's whatever thematic upgrades that will be really good. Next up is Wizard, and Wizard will be getting 14 new track pieces to replace some old ones. I'm really glad this is happening, because despite Wizard being kind of a smoother coaster than Demon, it is still pretty rough in some parts. Some parts so rough that I got hit on the waist once while riding. So I'm glad that they're doing this, especially because that means that they're keeping the old girl alive as much as possible, especially after the removal of the other Schwarzkopf speed racer in Colombia. So, appreciate it. Thank you, Great America. And then the last two small things is that Roaring Rapids will get a new lift chain, and Scenic Railway and Skytruck Tower will get new 50th anniversary audio. Now, Roaring Rapids getting a new lift chain, that's interesting. I thought they got it last year, but it's cool that they're getting it. Nothing special about that. The Skytruck Tower and Scenic Railway audio, that's kind of got me up in the air because I don't know what else can they really add besides mentioning Wrath of Rakshasa. Though Scenic Railway audio is actually really nice. I don't know if it's going to be narration or they're just going to put music on the train and nothing else, kind of like what they did for 2024 or 2024. When they added the original Marriott music for both Hometown Square and County Fair on the train. But we'll see. I'm interested to figure out what that's all about. And last but not least, regarding rides, we have the removal of the Winter Circle go-karts, which is honestly not surprising. I know I called it earlier this season. I was probably the first person to call it. But like I said, I'm not surprised. A lot of these Six Flags parks are starting to remove their go-karts or upcharge attractions in general, and for being a small park like us with not a lot of land to work with, it was just an obvious candidate to go. Now, what will go there? That is something that's still up in the air. I still think it's gonna be obviously the Giga. No, it's not. It's not happening. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like it probably might be the kids area, which could make sense. That's where Bugs Bunny National Park used to be before it was removed for the go-karts. But really, anything could go. So I'm interested to see what happens going forward with that plot. Moving on to more general stuff going around the park. First up, we have the reflection pond receiving a flower bed and the Great America sign in front, similar to how it's set up over there for CGA's reflection pond. While I miss having that picture perfect frame that's been there since the Marriott days and that I've seen in a lot of photos from that era, I can't deny and I have to admit that this is an upgrade. I can't wait to see how that turns out, and I hope they add fountains just like how CGA has it. It's a much better upgrade than removing the berms on the left. Like, seriously, why did they do that? It just looks terrible now, but still staying with the front of the park, they're going to update the toll plaza sign where you could go from Grand Avenue to purchase your parking ticket or just, scanning your pass in for parking. And they're going to be adding bricks to the front on the west side of the entrance. Now the bricks I'm really excited about because Great Adventure did that, and I was hoping that they were going to do that for here as well, and that's going to be very exciting. I'm definitely going to purchase one. Moving on to food, beverage, and retail, Flags at the front of the park is going to get a refurbishment. I got nothing more to say about it, though, outside of I hope it looks nice, especially because right now Flags is a little bit not that appealing right now, so I hope that they make it look nicer. The Great America Emporium, aka the store that's on your left once you enter Orleans Place, will finally be reopening and will be turned into a legacy store slash museum, which I'm really excited about. I'm pretty sure this is going to be another space where they're going to have 50th anniversary merch and also just show some stuff from the past. I don't know how the museum section will work. I don't know if it's going to be like CGA's, where at their Carousel Plaza store or their Victory Lane or Gold Striker Gifts, they do have a little museum there showing a lot of the relics of like the carousel, like building the carousel and all that stuff. So I wonder if it's going to be like that here or it's going to be much more expansive. Either way, that's still very exciting for me, and I can't wait to see how that turns out. Staying on topic of old buildings being brought back, Firehouse Snacks is also being brought back, and it's going to become an ice cream parlor. They're going to be bringing back root beers, just like back in the Marriott era. I really love that they're doing this. Not only that we're opening the Firehouse Snacks and bringing back something from the park's past, it's also a nice little nod to the Marriott Corporation, who originally owned the parks, as Willard Marriott opened a food stand called the Hot Shop, which is where they sold a bunch of things, including root beers. And they had that for like the first few years of the park's opening, across from where Firehouse Snacks is right now. I really appreciate the amount of dedication going into trying to bring stuff from the past or pulling stuff from, the park's history as a big Marriott, Great America fanboy. So I really hope we get more of this throughout the year. It almost feels like Disney levels of dedication in a way. And then last but not least, we have new 50th anniversary merch and a new show going on for the night in the summer. Really excited about these two, especially the merch. The merch so far seems kind of interesting. The only way they can go is just up, pretty much. I would like to talk about this more in my hopes, but from what we have so far with the sweaters and the 50th logo design with the little carousel horse on it, I love that so much. Same for the show. Last year's show was really nice. It was probably one of the nicest shows we've had in a long while. And just like with the merch, the only way they can go is up. I'm going to be talking more about hopes in the next section, but I'm really excited to see what they have planned for this year for the show. Please get Jeff Bergman as Bugs. And that's pretty much it when it comes to what we got for No Coaster Con. There's a lot of other small things, but these were the stuff that were the most interesting to point out. Now let's move on to my hopes and predictions for the 50th, as that kind of was the original intention until all of this dropped. So the first thing is that when it comes to the merch, I hope they're going to release more cooler exclusive stuff. It's nice that we have shirts, sweaters, and all that stuff, but I'm hoping for other cool things, like maybe a model of the Columbia. That would be really cool. Also, anything with the Looney Tunes on it, always gotta have the Looney Tunes, That would be actually cool if we could get more 50th anniversary merch featuring Bugs Bunny in his Marriott outfit. Staying on topic of the Looney Tunes, I hope the Looney Tunes get a lot of representation this year. They've been at this park since the very beginning, and with Coyote vs. Acme coming out later this year, I do hope that they're going to take advantage of the tunes this year and include them in a lot of the 50th anniversary stuff. Alongside with the likes of the rides and a lot of the other stuff that they're planning. Brushing my quip from earlier, just get Jeff Bergman or Eric Bauza to do some lines as the characters for either the show or the parade, and we're good. Alongside redoing Raging Bull's queue, I hope they're going to add speakers into the queue, and I hope that this incentivizes them to add themed music to Southwest Territory. Because if you don't know, last year, Great America brought back themed music for all of its lands minus Southwest Territory. Southwest Territory was kept silent. There was no music in the summer playing in Southwest Territory. And it's not that the speakers don't work. They did. They were playing pop music early on in the season, but once they switched over to theme music for all the areas, Southwest just was left without music. So I hope that they do bring music for Southwest Territory this year, as they've done with all the other lands. Which also includes Raging Bull's queue, because, well, they're redoing the queue, so hopefully they could probably put some speakers in as well, just to put some music, so it's not, dead silent over there. Speaking of music, Demon's audio, I hope that comes back this year. It probably will, but you never know. On a more similar note, I hope that May 29th and July 4th will be really big days over there. May 29th, that's the exact day that Great America turns 50 years. And I just hope that they do something special, like a special opening ceremony before the park actually opens, or some sort of flag raising or whatever, just to commemorate this is the day. Exactly, May 29, 50 years ago, Six Flags Great America opened to the public. I just hope they do something like that. Same for July 4th, as that's when the United States of America turns 250 years old. And since Great America was obviously built for the bicentennial back in 1976, when America was turning 200, it makes sense that they should probably go all out this year with 4th of July. I don't know how they're going to do it. They're probably not going to top Fiesta Texas, because Fiesta Texas has a really amazing show. But if they manage to do it within the budget, that's also another thing that could be really cool this year. So I'd say be on a lookout for that just in case. And finally, I guess the kids area probably will be announced at the end of the year. I feel like that's probably going to happen, just to kind of round off everything, We have all of these celebrations, all of this amazing stuff going on, and at the end they're like, okay, next year or in 2 years we're gonna have our kids area there replacing the go-karts. Nothing much, just I feel like that's probably gonna happen. And that's it. That's my hopes and predictions and everything that happened from CoasterCon regarding Great America. Like I said, I'm really excited for this year. I'm really excited to see what happens, how much merch we're gonna get, how much things we're gonna try to get. I feel like this will probably also showcase what direction they're gonna go with the park as well, because usually these anniversaries, I think, help sell what the park is and what they could do going forward. And with all of this stuff coming out, especially some of this deep cut stuff, yeah, it's gotten me so excited and so hyped for the 50th. I've never felt so hyped to go to the park until this year, and I really hope it's going to be a great one. But I want to know what you guys think should happen, or what do you guys predict. But anyways, as always, thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys another day. Peace out.
Well, I stood up for you, and you lied to me. You liar!
And I'm not the liar. He is.